this is something that not many people get to do. It's a great honor for any farmer to be chair of the Grains Council. Why did you want to do this?
From the first meeting I went to back in, I think it was 2015 or 14, I'm not sure, down in Costa Rica, I went to some A teams, advisory teams, and I saw what they were doing. And I thought, you know, this is an organization I would really like to be involved in because they make things happen. I mean, they move grain, they move ethanol, they move the products so that, you know, I can continue to farm, and they make a difference.
And the Illinois corn growers certainly have invested a lot of checkoff money into the Feed Grains Council. You are now there to make sure that that money is wisely invested and used.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've got offices in 9 different countries. We got presence in 30 different countries. And then we are doing programs now in 60 different countries. So, I mean, there's a lot to be spent. There's a lot of personnel. And yeah, it's quite a process to try to make sure that what we're doing brings value back to the farmer. And that's what it's all about. My theme for this year is, you know, the time is now, because with the agricultural way it is right now, with the depressed prices and still have the high input costs, you know, the farmers want to see something happen. And not that we haven't been doing a lot, we've been doing a lot, but I want them to know that we're going to do everything we can to move as many bushels as we can and as many gallons of ethanol, DDGs, and all that as we can do.
Well, you've brought up opened several different doors there. You've just recently, Grains Council added on ethanol, and then recently we've got some other things going on that we'll talk about. But ethanol is something that I'm sure is certainly going to be sold around the world, that you can claim as, hey, we did this.
Yeah, I mean, the best success story you can go to Japan. In 2018, we had 0% of their ethanol. 0%. We weren't even allowed in. And then through checkoff dollars and the U.S. Grains Council, we took Stefan Mueller from the University of Illinois Chicago campus and Michael Wang from Argonne, and went over there and brought them over here and met several times with their METI, which is their Department of Transportation and Minerals and all that kind of stuff. And we talked to them, and we finally got them convinced that we weren't a bad greenhouse gas, that ethanol was good, and so we got moved up. And then we said, that's not good enough, we're going to do more. So now we're open to 100% of that market, 100%, from 0 to 100%. And they use ETBE right now, which it's a form, and that's only about a 1.4% ethanol in their fuel. And we've been working with them, and Rahm Emanuel, who was the ambassador over there, worked really well with us. And now they're going to E10 in their gas, liquid blending E10, and that's 1 billion gallon market. When they get to E10, that's a 1 billion gallon market. So right now with what we're doing, it's I think around 200,000. So that's a big success story right there. And then Vietnam is going to E10, and I think that's a 400 million gallon market. The Philippines are going to an E20. So all these things, you know, we're moving all this. Guatemala just signed, the president said he is committed to being at E10 this upcoming next year. And so I look at, you know, I'm a baseball guy, so I try to relate things. There's not a lot of home runs out there, but there's a lot of singles and a lot of doubles. And, you know, Guatemala is not a big market, but you get Guatemala, you might get Costa Rica. You get Costa Rica, you get Nicaragua. You just keep moving. Panama, you keep moving all those, and you start bringing more and more, and all those add up to a home run.
How does the Grains Council do that? What do you do to achieve those goals?
Well, in the last Trump administration, there was a RAP, there was ATP, Ag Trade Promotion Authority, and there was money given to that. And then this last administration, there was RAP, Regional Ag Promotion Program, and so that money helped us to be able to start new programs. We were able to hire consultants in these countries. We were able to hire more staff, and then start programs in these countries that we weren't able to do before. And so now we have people, we have a template of how we can use to go to other countries and help those governments start the process of going to E5, to start to E5, and then go to E10, and then to E15, and show them the benefits of ethanol in their society. Clean air, it's cheaper, all this kind of stuff. And we even work with the local ethanol industry, because we know everybody wants to be energy independent. They don't want to buy everything. They want to be able to provide but we work with their ethanol industry saying, we know you want to have an ethanol industry. Let us, put it at E10, you provide what you can, and we'll do the rest. And just work that way, because then it's a win-win for both.
Corn-based biologicals and biochemicals are certainly the next target, I think, and you've even changed your name to include those.
Yeah, we just had a bylaw change this last week up in Grand Rapids at our Board of Delegates meeting. We're now U.S. Grains and BioProducts Council. And, in that way, when there's, the bioproducts, the bioplastics, anything else, we wanted to be prepared for the future. The last name lasted us 30 years. We want to go maybe 60 years with this name. So we thought about it long and hard. We spent over a year going through all the figures and out what we needed to do and what was right and what translated around the world right, because you got to think about how things are perceived around the world. You want to have something that doesn't sound right in another language. So this is what we came up with, and I think it's perfect. It prepares us and opens the door for the future.
And what are some of those things, other than ethanol, what are some of those things that would be a bioproduct that you could foresee other countries wanting?
Well, right now, DDGs. We do a lot of DDGs in feed around the world. Fermented corn protein is another one. High pro DDGs is another one. And then, like I said, anything in the bioplastics, or you name it, anything that comes from the corn plant that can be made out of a process of processing corn or sorghum or barley, any of that, we'll have that ability to push that.
Are there any parts of the world that's going to get a little more attention than others, or do you just keep going where you have been and been successful and push those a little harder?
Well, with the RAP funding and also with the ATP funding, they had specific areas. They wanted us to grow in different areas. So we are spending more money in Africa, trying to get stuff started there, because we hadn't been before in the past. We haven't had the money. And so that allowed us to go there. It does not allow us, those two funds, the RAP and ATP, did not allow us to spend any money in Canada, in Mexico, in China. And I don't think they allowed us in the European Union either. They wanted us to spend in other places. So that's opening up the Central America, South America, Southeast Asia, those markets, Middle East, all those kind of places are where we're really putting a lot of emphasis.
Are there going to be any issues with the current trade policy and tariffs and things like that? Do we have to go softly on some countries?
Well, we're non-political.
Right.
We're just out there. We have to work with whatever the environment is. And we're developing relationships in the country, and we hope the trade things get sorted out, but we're going to be there no matter what. We're going to be in those countries trying to get those people, to understand how our products can improve their lives, make it easier for them to raise their livestock, make it easier to feed their families, and make a living. So we're going to be there no matter what the trade policies are.
When your year is up and the time is now to change to the next theme, what will you look back and say, hey, we really did a great job here, I've achieved my goals?
I think if we can move enough product that it makes a difference in the price the farmer receives. If the farmer can make a living, because right now the price we're receiving is below cost of production, and they have this big crop coming in, and if we can make a difference, if we can get some more products, right now we're on course to set record exports for corn this year alone, and record ethanol. We're going to break last year's ethanol. We're going to break, I think I'm not sure what year it was, 2020, I think, the highest corn exports ever. And to think about it, back then, China made 31% of that.
Right.
This year, we're going to break that record, and China's only got one ship. That's it.
Right.
So that means we're going all over the world. We're doing that. And so we want to continue that. We want to continue to bring in other countries and just break the record this year, too, next year.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.